And we are live.
Hello, everyone on Facebook. My name is Mike Neighbors, the host of Friday at 4:20, and that is what you have stumbled upon. Thank you for stumbling upon us. We appreciate it. There's no way anyone came here on purpose. It's only those who we accidentally pick up. We appreciate you hanging out for a minute to find out what is going on here, what we're about to tell you. We've got a great panel assembled as we conduct another edition of Friday at 4:20. If you're listening on the radio right now, of course, it's Friday afternoon, and you're listening on Funny 820, and we appreciate you doing that as well as we get you set for the weekend. With our usual cast of characters, let's introduce them, shall we? Please say hello to our good friend, Mr. Patrick
Coppolino. This is when you say your name, Patrick.
What Mike usually says it. I gotta say it now.
I went Zontanos in my head. I went Patrick, and I went, it's not Zontanos. And then, no, by then I was messed up.
We could tell you're not into it anymore, Mike. You were like, you went like this. You went, so welcome back to Funny at Friday at 4:20.
What are we doing anymore?
Through hell today. All right.
Yeah.
It's been a hellish day.
Yeah.
Patrick Coppolino.
Yes.
Say hello to him.
Buongiorno.
There you go.
Hello.
Hey, buongiorno, Patrick. How are you, man?
I'm very good. Very good.
Are you all set for Christmas? Are you ready? Are you excited? Are you pumped?
Yeah, almost. I got a bunch of my my stuff done. Got Esther's stuff, and but I think today after this, Manolis needs a new phone apparently. So we're going to Mapleview Mall today.
Yes, to buy
yeah,
so I can buy a new phone.
Why Burlington? They have better phones there?
Because they have an Apple store.
Oh, okay. So we're going to try to hit that before the lockdown happens. Good for you. Good luck, everybody. Good luck on that one. Since you already been partially introduced to him by Patrick, please say hello to Manolis Zontanos.
Hey, Mike. It's the hair. The longer the hair you grow, it's the dumber you're getting. That's what's happening.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's for sure, man.
I'm going to put that to the test. I'm going to keep growing it. I thought I might cut it at the end of 2020 because I have not cut my hair during 2020. But now I'm thinking, no, screw it. I'm just going to see how dumb I can get.
I love it. I like to say, could I say hi to my friend Elena? Just want to. She might be watching, and it's this girl I'm in love with. So I just want to say hi to her.
Oh, so yeah, using it as another pickup. You know what? If she isn't watching, if she didn't stumble upon us on Facebook, just send her a quick text. Say, hey, it'll be on Funny 820 Friday. She can listen to it.
She lives in LA, but I'll see what I can do. I'll send her
She can stream it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Funny820.com. It'll be great. Elena, we love you. We all love you, actually.
I love them. I love her more. But yeah.
Okay. And now let's get to our special guest this week on Friday at 4:20. He has got so many things on his resume we can talk about, and we're going to talk about them all. But please, for now, just say hello to our new friend, Kim Lombard. How are you, Kim?
Hola, mi amigos. Feliz Navidad.
Ah, very nice. Oh,
and that is the full extent of my Spanish.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, I have a Cuban wife, and all I know are the swear words.
Don't use any of those. We're on the radio.
I know. I've been warned.
Kim, you're for those listening on the radio who can't see what's going on, we can see that you got this crazy Santa hat on with flashing lights. Is this your regular apparel for a day of the week?
Yeah, I see no reason to get out of bed. I'm actually in my pajamas, if you can notice here. And but it's really cool. It's going to get better because the hat will actually explode during the last segment.
Oh, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's my special exit from all my interviews.
Oh, excellent. Usually on this show, it's only Manolis who explodes at the end, but that's a whole other story.
You're on today. You're on.
All right, listen, let's get into the game. We've got a lot of things to cover with Kim because he's got some exciting news about a new TV show coming in the new year that is very Hamilton, and we are very much looking forward to sharing that with you. But first, Kim, what we have here is a Plinko board. We actually have an actual Plinko board. There, I can show it to you. And we're going to Plinko now, and that's how we discover what topic you're going to get on Friday at 4:20, and you get topic number 7. So here we go. Kim Lombard, our special guest on this edition of Friday at 4:20. Your topic is, what is your go-to sub sandwich? You've been dragged to a sub shop. What is your go-to sub sandwich?
Well, before I answer that question, if you give me 10 or 15 minutes, I can go down to the locker in my apartment building, and I actually have an 8x10 autographed picture of Bob Barker. So just bear with me.
With the original Plinko.
I do. I have that and Irv Weinstein for your older listeners.
And Irv Weinstein? Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, he does too.
That's some classic stuff.
Okay, so my go-to sub sandwich, this you'll enjoy. I went to Los Angeles in the boy, all my stories have big lead-ups to the punchline. I had a band. We were in LA. We did the 5 guys in a 2-bedroom apartment, 2 dogs, and plus the singer had to have his girlfriend there. And so we were basically just living on top ramen, those 25-cent compressed noodles, you know, the ones 4 for $1. So we'd go to Rock and Roll Ralph's every night, and we'd buy 6-pack of beer. It just said beer on it, and it was $2 for a 6-pack. And we'd live on top ramen. And one night we were so broke, the drummer in the band came back from Rock and Roll Ralph's with an expired carrot cake, and that's what we ate for dinner. But when we got jobs, because you really can't live being a musician down there. In fact, you actually pay to play. At least you did when I was living there. We got jobs at a moving company, and so we were able to eat properly. So I would go to Subway Sub and get the 6-inch tuna sub with way too much mustard on it.
Oh, tuna and a ton of mustard.
Yeah. And in actual fact, that was going to be the name of my solo album.
6-inch.
6-inch, yeah. I mean, if
6-inch soft.
Yeah.
That is awesome. We should mention. Tell us the name of the band that you were in.
Well, I'm giving away my age here, but I was in a band called Trixie Goes Hollywood.
Yeah, you were. That was a great band.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You know the band?
I'm an old dude, man. I keep telling you guys, the long hair fools you all the time. I'm an old dude. I've been around for a long time. I got Irv Weinstein. I knew that reference. So
Thank you.
Anyway, very cool band, man. It's great to have you on the show, Kim. And tuna with a ton of mustard. Patrick Coppolino, your go-to sub. I dragged you to a sub shop. What's your go-to sub?
I wish I had as cool a story. I'm not in a band or anything, but I like, you know what? Classic cold cut combo.
Just the classic cold cut.
Yeah,
the original
it's got a bunch
sub.
of meat on it. I don't even know what kind of meat's on it. There's just like 3 or 4.
They don't always know what kind
I
of
don't
meat.
think they do. Yeah. It comes on like a wax paper, and they fold it onto my bread.
You just walk in, you go, give me a mixed, baby. All right. Manolis Zontanos, what do you say, buddy? What's your go-to sub?
I'm saying my favorite go-to sub. Actually, Patrick, you do have a great story about this. You were involved in this. I don't even know what it was, but it was the best sub we ever had. We were doing background work together.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a hockey scene, and they were like using like 500 people for this scene, and they were like made us wait forever to eat, and then they got in subs for all of us to eat. So me and Patrick went to the girl that was holding the subs, and I knew her. She was like an AD, and I said, "Come on, can we just have them now?" Because we were afraid there wasn't going to be enough. And she said, "All right, fine, but don't let anybody see you." So me and Patrick take our subs
To the bathroom. And then like someone at some point, so we're standing in a stall just eating our subs, because everyone, like, for more context, there was like everyone was crammed in there. It went super late. It was like a 14-hour shoot or something, but everyone was so hungry, and we knew they would kill us if they knew that we were eating. So we're hiding in the bathroom. And then someone came in the bathroom. Do you remember? And we're standing in the stall, and we're being all quiet, just eating our sandwich. But it was like 2 people, like we were doing cocaine in the bathroom, but we're just eating subs. But we were like just as scared.
We're just 2 dudes in a stall eating subs. That's what we were doing.
And then after we get back to our seat. And there was a little bit of chaos because someone else had like taken a sub and people found out, but we were already back at our seats. And then someone came out and started handing the subs out to everyone. So remember, we looked at each other. We're like, we have to take another one because if we pass on the sub, they'll know we already ate because it had been so long.
Yeah, why aren't you 2 eating? What's wrong? Why are you guys fine? We're already so hard to get that second sub down though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was good.
That's my favorite sub, whatever that was.
Well, it doesn't even matter what it was.
Background work subs.
And then at the very back of the line, you see two guys that didn't get subs.
Yeah.
They're just curled up in the fetal position, weeping.
All right, let's continue with another topic. We're going to get back to the background work. I know that Manolis, you did some background work on the project that we were talking about with Kim in a few moments' time. But first, this topic for you, Manolis. Have you ever been on a diet? Have you ever been on a diet?
Does cocaine count?
Well, no.
No.
Well, unless
No.
it's the official cocaine diet.
Well, that's the best diet in the world. Well, that works. The best two diets work if you're doing. No, okay, not saying you should try this anywhere, but
Never should try this.
but you definitely don't feel like eating. I remember I was at a party one time. I wasn't doing blow, and everybody was, and I ordered a pizza, and I forgot everybody was doing blow. And I go, you guys, does anybody want a slice? And I'm like feeling like a nice person, and everybody's like, no. Like they looked at. Like
Why
what?
did you do that?
He bought like 4 pizzas.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so stupid. I
So
best-
you've never been on like an actual diet?
I tried certain diets. Like I'll just try not to drink. My diet, my idea of a diet is like I'll not drink booze for a while.
Okay.
But I feel like the best diet, honestly, that works the best I ever look in my life is when I break up with a girl and I'm brokenhearted. Usually I'm dumped too. You know, they dump me and I'm brokenhearted. I'm like, woe is me. And I lose all my appetite and I shred down. And I'm like, I get to like 180, 185. And everybody sees me like, dude, you look amazing. And I'm like, I want to kill myself.
I have a broken heart.
I swear to God, broken heart is the best diet in the world.
Broken heart diet. Excellent. Kim Lombard, have you ever been a dieter? Have you ever tried dieting?
Well, I got my girlfriend fired me a few years ago. Didn't renew the contract, as it were, and so I did a similar thing. I didn't eat for about 9 months, and I looked. Yeah, I could have been in Schindler's List for sure. But no, as far as like a proper real diet, no. I'm one of the lucky ones. I actually have to eat all the time to keep my weight on.
Yeah, you look like a pretty svelte fella in your pajamas there.
Yeah. These are, by the way, speed up the interview. These are rented. They got to go back.
Coppolino, you ever tried dieting, man?
No, not at all. I like food too much. But honestly, like since during the whole pandemic, my weight's never fluctuated more. Like I keep like losing a bunch of weight and then I gain some and then I lose some. But I'm a hypochondriac too, so it's like I have to. I'm like I don't realize how much I'm not eating. Like I've never spent more time on my computer chair than I have the last few months, and I'm losing weight somehow. So
Wow.
I'm assuming it's because I'm just like I'm trying to think how often I eat. I'm probably just not eating as much. But yeah.
You know, it is one of the weird things, right? Because we're obviously 4 guys here, and I don't want to turn this into a sexist thing, but ultimately, if we were doing it, if it was 4 women, they all would have tried diets. Everyone, whether they needed to or not.
Yeah.
They all would have been, oh yeah, I've tried this diet and this diet. Isn't that interesting, eh? Anyway.
Well,
Speaking of interesting, Kim Lombard, I got to get you to share with us a little bit about this new TV show that's been shot exclusively in Hamilton. It features all kinds of people from Hamilton. It's going to make its debut in 2021. I don't want to mess with it anymore. I want you, Kim Lombard, to tell us a little bit about this project and what you're so excited about it with.
I was approached by a wonderful woman named Lisa Crawford. She had an idea for a comedy about a woman's prison. And I was sort of saying to her, well, we've kind of seen that with Wentworth and Orange is the New Black, although they do get serious at times. I suggested to try it a little different angle where it focuses more on how inept the prison staff are, the prison administration. So we focus a lot on the people running this pretend privately run prison. I play a character named Pip Barnett who has the IQ of a broken lava lamp. He runs the prison and goes and gives really, really terrible and useless ideas to the warden, who is just incredibly together but so frustrated that she has to listen to this ridiculous CEO. So we did a little trailer. It got pitched around to a couple of places, not a lot, but Lisa managed to connect with Bell 5 TV1, and they loved it. And as you had mentioned earlier in the pre-pro part of the show, they left us alone. They let us do whatever we wanted. They took out 4 things, which I can kind of understand. It's essentially community television, so you have to be a little bit careful. But there was a sword fight with 18-inch dildos, which had to go.
They always have to go.
Yeah, and I begged. I was on my knees pleading with them, but no, we took that out. But for the most part, I'm going, it's comedy gold. You don't understand. But anyway, so
is there any chance we could get some kind of a trailer with that to go viral on YouTube to celebrate the show or something? I mean, it seems to me that even if Bell 5 doesn't want the 18-inch dildo sword fight, that maybe we could move that to YouTube or something to hype up the show.
Yeah, because you want to get banned in as many venues as possible. Yeah, I don't know if YouTube's going to bite on that, but anyway, we did shoot it and we X'd it and we ended up using Barbie dolls instead, and it's every bit as funny.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So it starts January 11th, and the reason I'm here with you guys today is because my good buddy there, Manolis Coppolino. No, what is it? Manolis Zontanos invited me. He had a great scene in one of the episodes. He plays a visitor to the prison, and although it was scripted, of course, Manolis went off script and did some fantastic improv stuff, which most of which we kept. But it starts January 11th, and I'm telling you, it is truly a funny show. And when a lot of productions come to Hamilton or Toronto or anywhere in Canada, they kind of hide the fact that they're here. They'll bring U.S. mailboxes, they'll change the street signs, etc. We did the opposite. We're big fans of Hamilton. We think, most of the cast live in Hamilton, most of the crew live in Hamilton, and sometimes Hamilton gets a bum rap. It's a great town. So we featured Hamilton. You see lots of landmarks, Hess Village and a number of other places, which you all know. And then we rounded up quite a few local businesses that helped sponsor the show as well, and they're all featured in the program as well.
That is awesome. The show is called Pink is In.
Pink is In, that's correct.
Pink is In. It'll be on Bell Fibe, which if you are a subscriber to Fibe, you get this channel. It actually has a lot of really cool content, including our friends Pat and Ralph from Corkscrewed. Their show was on Bell Fibe, and Pink is In will be there as of January 11th. We can't tell you how much we hope you'll go and check out Pink is In, because it's a true Hamilton production, and a very funny one. And you'll even get to see our old buddy Manolis in there as a visitor to a women's prison. Who thought Manolis would fit in?
It was really fun because when I showed up, I didn't really have too many lines, and I just asked right off the top. I'm like, can I have an idea. Can I just, and the guy, before I could finish, the guy goes, I don't know the director, Kim, but he goes, do what you want. Whatever you want to do, just do it. I'm like, oh, okay, that was easy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was really terrific. And the director's name is Aaron Jinchashvili, and he's marvelous. He really knows comedy. And so although the scene was scripted, I had said to him, Manolis is just awesome at improv, because Manolis and I had worked together on a couple other projects, and sure as shooting, he did a great job.
We met through background, right, Kim? Like years ago, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's right. We did actually meet on Murdoch Mysteries.
Oh, that's it.
Where they have you in those wool 1890s clothing made of wool, and it's July and it's 114 degrees. And of course the craft service table, everything's just melted on the table, and there's nothing worth, the water's just like hot water.
You got to go to the bathroom to eat the subs.
Yes.
You're listening to Friday at 420. Our special guest is Kim Lombard, featured in Pink is In, starting January 11th on Bell 5. Let's get back to our game, shall we, gentlemen? This one for Patrick Coppolino, topic number 5 on this Friday at 420. There is such thing as the Toy Hall of Fame. It's actually just across the border from us in Rochester, New York. And I want to know from you, gentlemen, What toy do you believe should be in the Toy Hall of Fame? There are lots that already are. I just want to know what you think is a toy, whether from your childhood or something you saw later in life, that deserves to be in the Toy Hall of Fame. Patrick Coppolino, go.
I don't know if it is already, but the Talk Boys. You know the Talk Boys from Home Alone? The thing that he records into?
Like a walkie-talkie?
No, it's like a tape recorder basically, but it was really popular. Like they marketed it to kids. So there was like Talkboy Jr., which is like a mini version of it. It's the one that Macaulay Culkin uses in Home Alone. He does like all the voice memos to himself.
Oh, right.
And then he ends up
I
using
didn't realize they marketed those to kids, because there are like, professional business editions of those things, but they actually marketed one to kids, did they?
Yeah. There was one called Talkboy Jr. It was like a small one, and it didn't have tapes in it. It just like it recorded right onto the device, but it looked like a Talkboy. It was just tinier. Those were really cool, and I think like every kid in the 90s had one.
I guarantee you that's not in the Toy Hall of Fame, so that's one that should be on future ballots.
Yeah.
Talkboy Jr. Did not see that coming. Manolis Zontanos, give me a toy that deserves to be in the Toy Hall of Fame.
There's a couple coming to mind, but I remember being very young, and I had this like a car toy where like it would go up a track all the way up like a roller coaster, and then it just went all the way down back, and then it hit the track, went back up, and just did that for
like Hot Wheels.
Like Hot Wheels, but it was like it wasn't Hot Wheels. It was the same. But it would be like a
cheap
water.
knockoff.
Yeah, but it'd be everything. It'd be a water slide all the way down, but it hit the beginning again, and the front end would click onto this chain, and it would pull it up. And I could watch. I was like 6, I think. I could watch that for hours. But the one toy I did hate is the knockoff Barbie dolls, because my dad doesn't understand toys, and his friends at work gave him Barbie dolls to give us because they're like, we're kids. It's like they're boys. Like, they'll like this, they'll play with this. I'm like, this is a Barbie, and it's not even a real Barbie. You know how hard it is to have sex with a fake Barbie when you're 6?
or to meet girls when you're walking around with a fake Barbie.
Yeah,
even that, it's hard to do.
The big wheels were pretty cool. The
big wheel was cool.
The big wheel was cool. I got to try a couple. No, anybody that owned a big wheel, they were kind of jerks. They never wanted to share it. They're like, "Can I try it?" No, get your own. I'm like, I can't. I'm 8. Like, what do you mean, get my own? But yeah, I like that.
Lombard, what do you think deserves to be in the Toy Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm very excited for this question, and I'm going to show my age again, but there's 3. I have 3, everybody, so...
Okay.
Exciting. First one, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, because you always put the little rope around its neck and flushed it down the toilet, and then your mom had to call the plumber. 2 was the Easy Bake Oven, because it worked with that 100-watt light bulb, and when you opened it up, you always burned your fingers and like melted your fingers together, getting out this microscopic little muffin or whatever you were baking. And number three, my favorite one. Do you and Mike, you're going to know this one. I paused for dramatic effect. Clackers.
Clackers.
Are those those things you flick back and forth? Yeah.
So Clackers was awesome because it was two balls on the ends of strings, and invariably they shattered and took out your eye.
Yes.
So I think they were banned eventually, but Clackers was one of my favorites.
Clackers were banned. The other problem with Clackers was if you got them going, because they were hard, like, I don't know, they weren't what they were made of, whatever it was. They were hard and heavy, and they would sort of move around your hand, right? Yeah. And then they would crack into your wrist, or kids were going to the hospital with broken wrists from these Clackers, and then they eventually banned them.
Yeah.
Any toy that had to be banned because it ended up so dangerous, that deserves to be in the toy hall.
Yeah. Joan, get the car out of the garage. Billy's broken his wrist on the Clackers again.
With the Clackers.
Are yo-yos in the Hall of Fame?
I was a big G.I. Joe guy, but I also had, which was even cheesier, much to Manolis's take on the cheesy knockoffs, but this was actually part of the series, but it was Big Jim and the Big Jim camper. And it was like, and Big Josh, Big Jim would go camping with G.I. Joe, and it became just, wow, this whole thing. Yeah. and they were all big, and it was like weird, man.
That's really funny.
Listen, the other thing I want to say about toys, just before we move on here, Manolis, it was a year ago that I was at Levity, and I stumbled upon the Rebound game that you had discovered and had put at Levity, and I ended up borrowing it, taking it home to play with my brother because we were kids. We had Rebound. Rebound's not in the Toy Hall of Fame, and it should be, man.
That Rebound you saw, Mike, was an original Rebound from like whatever
original box and everything.
Yeah, and you know what's weird about it was like I'm pretty sure the because there's 2 rubber bands on it. I'm pretty sure that they're the original rubber bands.
I think so.
Yeah, like how does these rubber bands that you're bouncing these little silver balls on that they haven't destroyed themselves like in like 30 or 40 years? Like it's amazing to me.
Because I guarantee you, Patrick's Talk Jr. is not still alive and well.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I have a RoboCop toy, an action figure that talked. I remember it when I was a little kid, when I was like 5 or 6 years old. I had it. I just found it recently. It still talks.
Oh,
like
wow.
really faintly. It's dying, but like I've had that thing for like 25 years.
Just like in the movie, it was dying slowly.
You're listening.
Can we have an honorable mention before we go away?
Absolutely, brother.
You put the caps in that rocket and throw it up in the air, and then it came down. And...
Oh, jeez, I forgot.
The burning school.
Oh, nice reference. Yeah, and I can still smell it now.
But the toy that Kim's referring to was because it was heavy weighted on one end, right? So you'd throw it, and then the heavy weight would come down, and you'd have firecrackers in there or whatever, and they would
bang.
Oh, that was cool, man.
Yeah. Good times.
You take the roll of firecrackers, the whole roll of paper, and then you'd hit the whole thing with a rock. That made you so happy.
Yeah.
That was Manolis' version of the toy that we had. He didn't have the toy, so he used a rock.
You know when you throw rocks at people? That was a good toy.
That was a good time. You're listening to Friday at 420. I'm Mike Nabuurs, and we are with Patrick Coppolino. I got it right this time. Manolis Zontanos and our special guest, Kim Lombard, from Pink is In, as well as many other things, including a really cool story. It's a rock and roll story that I think Kim will share with us. But before we get to that, Kim, this topic for you, Beetles or Stones? You can only pick one. Beatles or Stones? Which was the better band?
In my mind, it was the Beatles because I'm super big into harmony vocals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beatles. Patrick?
Stones. I don't love either of them particularly, to be honest. But I've never gotten.
You have to pick one.
Yeah, Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Manolis?
I think Patrick's drunk. I don't know why. He's like, Stones.
Just trying to register. You know, Patrick, there's only a handful of questions every show that Patrick actually cares about.
I know.
My mouth was starting to I can give a bigger answer, and I'm like, no, just pick a band.
I feel like he's having a stroke.
I could be.
I'm gonna say the Beatles. The Beatles is I think the Beatles are just one of those bands. They're just, the more you find out about them, the more rad they are. And I did a gig, and I was so stoked about this. I was like one of the most happiest times of my life. I got to do a gig in Liverpool, stand-up comedy, and there was so I went to the Beatles museum, and I went to where the cavern. There's a fake cavern now, but you see where the original cavern was. Now was a park
club, yeah.
And but then I went to a couple bars that are like across from where the cavern is, where the Beatles used to hang out and have beers before shows, and just all of that was just like so chilling to me, man. It was just rad.
Well, it looks like it's a draw then, because you and Kim both picked the Beatles, and Patrick and I both picked We Don't Give a Crap. All right. We're going to continue with the game, but first, Kim, it was whispered to me that there was a story that potentially you might be willing to tell about golfing and Alice Cooper.
Isn't that a Manolis story?
No, didn't you? What are you talking about? Didn't you Didn't you go golfing?
Listen, I'll tell you what, because we're pressed for time. I'll just make something up.
Wait, didn't you get Alice Cooper beer or something?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I used to. I was the gopher at Nimbus 9 Studios in Yorkville in Toronto when Alice Cooper did Welcome to My Nightmare, and it was when he liked a cocktail, and he'd liked a cocktail super early. So I would drive to Buffalo to bring back Budweiser beer in the stubby bottles. Yeah. He was probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
I've heard that before. Super, super, super nice guy, right?
I was a young dude. I'd seen him live a couple of times, and I asked him every dumb question you could possibly imagine, and he answered them like he'd never heard the question before. Like, did you really bite the heads off chickens? I did that,
Of course you did.
Yeah. And,
you have to.
But yeah, he was a lovely dude, and that was sort of before you could get Budweiser in Canada.
So Manolis, explain to me the text. Manolis sent me a text, says, hey, one of the things you can ask him is about golf, because years ago he was a caddy for Alice Cooper on a golf course.
So I thought you were getting him beer while he was golfing. I misremembered the story, I guess.
Yeah, I never caddied for Alice Cooper, but I once had a summer job as a caddy at a mini golf course, if that makes it more interesting. I got nothing, guys. Sorry.
No, but you did. You got beer. You got beer from him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely, I did. Yeah, and he was a lovely guy.
Oh, that was beautiful, man. All right, I usually don't let Manolis set me up with my stories, but
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know where the golf. I think because I know he golfs, my brain just went to golf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was a booze hound back then, wasn't he? He
he enjoyed his cocktails.
He was an alcoholic, and that's okay.
Patrick, I don't know if you want in on this. Do you want to make up a story about Kim that I could ask him about?
No.
Still
my brain's not working today.
Alice Cooper was not actually nice to me when I met him face to face. I go, because I was asking, I ran into him and I go, dude, I like stupidly go, it's me, I'm Manolis. And he's like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, I made this collage and I gave it to your daughter and she gave it to you at Hamilton Place. And he remembered. He goes, "Oh yeah," and walks away from me, because we were at this comic book convention. And he was going to a break room with a bunch of people, but I just mistakenly walk into him, and he walks away from me, and I couldn't. I just like, are you kidding me? I spent like years making this collage, and you just walk out of my life. I was like, but I still love Alice Cooper.
We should do a whole episode just on Alice Cooper, because I have a couple more if you want to hear them. One was I was doing background on a movie called Suck, and Alice Cooper played the bartender, and they just happened to place me directly across the bar from him. So we were about 2 feet apart, and I sort of reminded him who I was, and he was very polite and pretended he remembered me. And of course, he didn't. And pardon me, eventually they escorted me away from him because I wouldn't shut up. I'm such a huge fan. And so they escorted me away and put me on the other side of the room. And hand to God, 2 days later, I flew to the NAMM show in Los Angeles in Anaheim. And we go in not knowing Alice Cooper's going to be playing. And where do I end up? Right in front of him. So now he thinks I'm stalking him, you see. Anyway.
I think he thought Manolis was stalking him as well. It probably happens a lot.
Well, I was holding up an 8x10 of Manolis at the time.
Technically, I was stalking him. Technically, he was right. In his brain, it made sense to walk away from me. So.
All right, you're listening to Friday at 420. Patrick Manolis and our special guest Kim Lombard, and the show is called Pink is In. It debuts on Fibe TV January the 11th. Make sure you check it out. Topic number 8, and this one I think we're around to back to you, Manolis, for a topic. I think it's your turn. So, gentlemen, this topic now, aside from the physical, let's remove the physical from it. What is the most important thing in a partner? What is the most important thing in a partner aside from physical? I don't want to know anything about boobs, Manolis. What's the most important thing in a partner?
I'm gonna say that like I'll, if I really like someone, I'll like them too much, but I think that was what I would like, if they could like me just half as much as I like them
without paying them.
Yeah, because that's like, it's one of those things. It's like, I think the relationships that work out for me for the period that they do is like, they're not in love with me, they're just in love with my love, like how much I like this guy.
You're going to be surprised, but I have a violin. I'm just going to bring it out. Hold on.
And oh yeah, I'm trying to fall in love again so I can like lose some weight, but I honestly, like, yeah, I think that'd be great. It'd be great if they just cared. just like geez, just hold me. You know what I mean? Hold me and tell me everything's going to be all right, even though I know it's not. You know? That's the quality I'm looking for.
That's fantastic, Patrick.
A liar.
How do you top that, Patrick? What do you look for? What's the most, aside from physical, what's the most important characteristic in a partner?
I mean, there's the obvious, like loyalty and honesty and stuff like that, but I think it's also important that someone has like their own personal interests and hobbies, stuff that they like to do independently from
That's
you.
interesting.
You know what I
Yes,
mean? 'Cause then if
yes,
you have
their own life to so you can come together and share, but that you also both have interests outside of just that.
You don't want them to be a Manolis that just likes you too much and he's just always there, right?
Smother you.
I'll smother your heart to death.
I like that. So I would characterize that as some independence.
Independence, yeah.
So independence from the relationship. That you think that's an important characteristic. Yep. I like that one, man. People don't talk much about that, but I think that is vitally important. Kim Lombard, please share with us your what you've found over your years on the planet. What's the most important characteristic other than the physical attraction to somebody?
Well, I was a drummer on the road for 25 years, or 8 girlfriends. And but I met a very beautiful Cuban woman who's now my wife, and I think I married her because she's hilarious. And part of it is that part of it is that English isn't her first language. So sometimes I feel like I'm married to Ricky Ricardo. But she's very, very funny, and for me, that's the most important thing outside of looks.
This that sense of humor, right? I mean, because every single day, if you can just laugh a little, you're going to get through that day, right?
Yeah, and also another thing that's great about her is I've learned how to dodge ashtrays and lamps and stuff when she starts going nuts. That's
got the fiery.
Yeah, if you could put on your Maury Povich hat, I'd appreciate it.
And I'm against what Patrick said. I think they should have no other interests but me.
Yeah.
Naturally, buddy. Naturally. All right. Listen, you know what? We're almost out of time. We've had, I certainly hope everybody's had as much fun as we've had. For those watching on Facebook at home, you can't see this on the radio, but there has been a finger puppet that has reared its head from time to time. Just please, Kim, if you wouldn't mind introducing us to your finger puppet. Is it Fred?
Gary.
Jerry?
Gary with a G. Don't offend him. It's Gary.
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 Yeah, got him in 1980. He was in Trixie Goes Hollywood for the entire run, and he's just been with me ever since.
That is awesome.
Could I do a little plug, because it's part of the show actually. We have hooked up with the Elizabeth Fry Society, and they help ladies that have just been released from prison, and
right.
They basically put you out on the street with next to nothing. So we've been collecting clothes and toiletries and diapers they need. And if you are interested, they're in Hamilton. They're based in Hamilton. It's called the Elizabeth Fry Society, and they could sure use your help at this time of year.
That is excellent, and that obviously was something that you came about through your work through Pink Is In, right? I mean, you obviously were talking about women who are in a penal institute, and then all the things that happen when they try to come out. I do some work with a place called The Bridge, which is downtown Hamilton, which helps the people being released from Barton Jail. And they do great work. I mean, there's some really cool organizations, but Elizabeth Fry is a very, very solid organization. So if you can help them out, especially like everybody says this time of year, especially because of COVID and all the things that it's wrought on our system. So any help you could give to Elizabeth Fry, that'd be fantastic. Kim, this is your opportunity to give us one last slash at Pink is In. What is it, your role? I know you're acting in it, but you're also one of the writers, are you not?
Yeah, so Lisa created it with co-creator Caroline Pusinas, and I wrote the first 4 episodes, and they start airing January 11th, and I'm telling you, it's a really funny show. It's out there. We laughed like idiots for the entire time we shot these 4 episodes, and there's going to be another 8 coming up soon. In the new year, we're going to start shooting again. So if you get a chance, Bell Fibe TV1, please watch us. And we're all over social media as well. So please check us out.
And keep an eye out, because I'm still convinced that we can somehow find a platform for the sword fight with the 18-inch dildos. I still think that's got some, that has to be seen. It has to be seen by the world. Kim Lombard, it was an absolute joy having you on the show. Thank you so much. Best of the holiday season to you. Huge success for Pink is In the new year. We look forward to reminding people in the new year to check it out on Bell Fibe. So thank you so much for doing this, Kim.
Thanks for having me. And Manolis, do I put my pants on now or?
Just wait till I come over.
Whoa. Okay.
Kim's just upstairs at Manolis's house.
Coppolino, you got anything you want to add here? I know Levity is closed right now, but we're I guess we're planning for 2021. We're hoping for a big year once we come out of this damn pandemic.
Yeah, so the only show that we had mild hopes for the rest of this year was New Year's Eve, but has now been officially canceled, so there's no reason to go to levitycomedyclub.com. But set it to your homepage. I do think one day in the new year you're going to load it up, and there's going to be a bunch of shows there again. So
how did the virtual show go that we talked about last week?
It was not bad. We're still working out. I actually got in touch with one of the producers of the game, like the developers, on Twitter, because there's some major issues with that game.
Okay.
There's like, because it's a lot of it's not just comedians, so it's just like just people who downloaded this app, and now they have this faceless platform that they can spread their hate on. So like you go to any, like it's incredible, like the things you hear on that game. So but now they're adding privacy features, so like you can create your own private room with just your friends and stuff like that. So in that sense, it's actually a really cool game, the comedy night thing. So we are going to do another virtual, and we might even do one tonight because we did it last Thursday. So so yeah, follow Levity Comedy Club on Facebook, and you might catch a virtual comedy show.
That's very cool. Okay, keep an eye on the Levity Comedy Club Facebook page, and you might find that. Manolis Zontanos, what do you got to say for yourself? It's your last episode of the year, buddy. We're not going to be back until 2021.
Oh wow, that's like what, 10 years from now? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to say again, Merry Christmas to Elena Koshka, as this girl I might be marrying in the new year, I'm hoping. And also, there's a great store on Ottawa Street. I like to try to plug different stores in Hamilton. This one's called Out of the Past. It's a vintage clothing store, and it's I probably bought hundreds of Western shirts there through the years. And go there, buy a gift for someone for Christmas.
Excellent. Guys, I want to say thank you for a great year. This almost entire year of Friday at 420 was done via Zoom, something we didn't even know we could do before 2020 started, and something we've adapted to. And I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and with the radio station and getting this done. So Patrick, Manolis, very Merry Christmas to you and your families. Have a great holiday season, and we'll look forward to conducting some more Zoom sessions in 2021. Kim, all the best to you and your hot, fiery Cuban wife over the holiday. And, most importantly, to you watching on Facebook, and even more importantly, to those listening on Funny 820, thank you for supporting Friday at 420. We love doing the show, and we love that you love listening to it. So we certainly appreciate you for doing that and putting up with the the sound quality off Zoom. Have a very excellent holiday season. And until we get a chance to talk to you again in 2021, have an awesome weekend!
Woo!